Hey! Today I wanted to do a uni related video because it's getting to the time where freshers are going to be thinking about going to uni. It's nearly the beginning of September, which is crazy, and it's going to be so strange not actually going back to university this year, but I'm excited for that. So I thought I would do things I wish I knew before I went to uni. My uni related videos are really popular, so I wanted to keep doing some. Whilst it's still fresh and I only graduated this year, I wanted to do some just to give you some insight because I've done it, I've been there, and so if I can help any of you when you're going to uni, then that's great, because obviously uni is a very scary and nervous time. And it's all very new and weird. So I thought I'd just share a few things that I have thought about and wrote on my phone, and that's what I wanted to do this video on. The first point is to concentrate as soon as you get to uni. Obviously, you've got freshers week, you're getting to know people, you're not fully concentrating, which is fine. That's the whole part of uni, you need to get to know people and make friends, but this whole thing about your first year doesn't count is dangerous. Let's put it that way. It is dangerous. I was told it, everyone is told it, some people are even told your second year doesn't count. If you're doing your longer courses, then sometimes that is the case. And to an extent, first year doesn't count. Like, your grades don't really go towards your final grade. However, if you were to do exceptionally well in your first year and get firsts in a couple of your modules or even one, and it came to second year or third year and you completely failed unit, you and this unit just didn't get on, it happens, not every unit is for everyone because you're just doing so many different things on your course, then you are allowed to take a grade from one of the other years and use it towards your final grade. So when people say that first year doesn't count, you can completely fail first year and still go through to second year. But if you knuckle down and actually concentrate, even if it's towards the end, and really try and put some effort in and get a first or really high grade, that could really benefit you later when the workload gets, increased and the work itself gets a lot more complicated and it's harder. Whilst first year is still quite new, it's simple, easier topics to learn about, try and get that first because it really will help you when it comes to your final grade. I didn't really focus too well in first year, had a lot going on. I kind of ballsed it up a little bit. Got some good grades, apart from one unit that completely just ballsed up, which was, that unit. What I'm trying to say is that it really helps me to fall back on something that in third year, I didn't really struggle with a unit and didn't fail anything at all, but I got a 2-1 in a unit and I was really annoyed at myself, which sounds really bad, but I got a 2-1 in a unit and I was really annoyed at myself because since second year all I'd got is firsts, and so I wanted to graduate uni with a first. So I'm glad that I could fall back on the first that I got in previous years to get my grade up and get rid of that grade, because you can get rid of one grade in your last year. At least at my unis might be different, but at my uni I could get rid of one grade that I didn't do too well and grab it from another year and use that for my final grade. So yeah, make sure you concentrate from the start and don't believe people when they say first year doesn't count, and don't bum around, because you'll thank yourself when you're in third year and struggling with the workload. Little sip. Freshers flu is not a myth. It really is a real thing, and although I wasn't really a typical fresher in first year, I wasn't enjoying going out, so I didn't really do freshers properly, but I still managed to get freshers flu. I went out a few times and then I just crashed. I had all the medication under the sun from Boots in my room to try and make me better, and I think it's a thing as well when one person gets ill, because you're in such a close proximity of each other in halls, and you're kind of with people all the time because you're just getting to know them and making friends, you catch things from people. You're going to get ill, if someone else has got it, you're going to catch it from them. So even if it's just a cold, you will get ill, and it is a thing around after freshers that everyone gets ill, and your lectures will all of a sudden start to be really empty, and it really is a thing. So make sure that you just are prepared for that and prepared to get ill. Basically, just look after your physical health and also your mental health, because it's a new thing. It's very scary going to uni and meeting new people and kind of being on your own. So look after your mental health as well. If you want to take a day off uni to just Netflix in bed, then do it. Also, on the topic of health, One thing you really do need to get before you go to uni is your meningitis jab. Just please get a meningitis jab. It's so easy. You just ring up your doctors or walk-in centre, a nurse, and go and get your meningitis jab. I knew of 3 people who contracted meningitis whilst I was at uni in my first year, and that's just in my year, and one case was very severe. Luckily no one passed away, I don't believe, but you know, it really does happen, so just make sure you get your meningitis jabs, because you know, it's one injection and it'll help you throughout your time at uni. The next is to not leave your referencing until last. Referencing is probably the least favourite thing of mine to do at uni. It was not fun. It's not fun. It's just not, it's not a fun thing to do. You do a big chunky essay and you have so much to reference and, you know, information to get from other books. Sometimes you don't take down all of that information, and I really recommend, usually your uni has a place where they recommend for you to write your references down online. We had RefWorks at my uni, but other unis might have their own or use different things, and to just make sure that you do your referencing as you go. So a lot of phones you can scan the barcode on the book and it will like create the reference for you in that style of referencing. However, whether you Harvard reference or your uni has its own referencing system, then that's really good as well. So make sure you just reference as you go and collect all your references so that you can just like bash out your bibliography at the end, because referencing can honestly take so long. If you have to go back and then find the book and find the published date and the author and blah 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 and the page you used, it is a nightmare. So just reference as you go and it will be a breeze, I promise. Especially if you're going to do a dissertation this year. That is one thing I'm so happy that I did, was reference as I went, because some people left their referencing till last and it is just, it's a stress I didn't need, okay? The next thing I wish I knew was to make connections throughout uni as you go. Honestly, you meet so many different people at uni. You have guest lecturers, you have your own lecturers, tutors from other courses, you have friends, people from other courses. Just make connections. Being on a creative course, obviously I was doing makeup and hair design, we collaborated with so many different courses: fashion styling, photography, film studies, like so many different ones, because our projects were different, that we had to collaborate with other people, or we could collaborate if we wanted to. And having those connections is so good, even making connections with students at uni, because you never know, like that student could go off and blow up and their photography career could skyrocket, and then you'd have that connection with them, that if they ever needed help on a shoot or they needed assisting or whatever, or makeup, whatever that connection is, you'd be able to go and do that with them, or with jobs and things like that. It really helps to make connections, and throughout your time at uni, because if you have that one person who you know edits photos really well and one unit you're struggling to edit on Photoshop, you can go back to them and ask them to do it, or ask them to help you. And it's always good to make different connections, just to know people, and tutors as well. It's so important to make connections with tutors, because they have so many people they know outside of uni and in the industry, because most of them have just done careers in the industry and come to teach. One of my lecturers, Anna, I got on with her really well, and she has actually pointed me in the direction of brands that she works with. She is a stylist and I've helped out with their social media and things. So it really does help to get connections from everyone, because you'll benefit at some point in your, whether it's uni or after uni and after you graduated in your life, that people that you meet and make connections with will always remember your name, and so there'll come a time in your life where you'll need that connection and you'll be happy that you made it at uni. The next, I don't know if it's just my uni or if it's all unis, but I had to make sure that I got to the library before 9:30 in the morning, because if I didn't, I would not get a computer to use and I probably wouldn't have got a seat where I wanted to. Being a creative student, obviously studying makeup and things, when I did shoots I had to use a computer to edit, Photoshop, InDesign, everything. So I needed to use the uni computers because they had the software that I needed to use. And so it was important that I got a computer when I did. So I had to get up early. Like, you have to get there before 9:30 because no one Like, so many people will be there, especially in busy periods when exams are coming up, or, you know, things are due towards the end of semesters. That would be the worst time. Also, going with that, I'd literally force myself to sit in the quiet zones and the quiet areas so that I get some work done, especially if I was on my own laptop or writing or reading and getting references. I'd sit in the quiet area because I'd have to do work. There is nothing worse. I say nothing worse, it's great, but finding your friends and sitting and chatting with them, and before you know it 3 hours is gone and you've done nothing, is so bad. But you're in early and you finished early and you can go shopping and go treat yourself or do something for the rest of the day, eat, Netflix, whatever. My second to last thing I wish I knew was taking advantage of being a student as such. You don't realise until you leave how much students get, like freebies and discount. Although I have to say, my uni days still does work. Uni days, student beans, everything, discount in Topshop, H&M, New Look, like Apple do amazing discounts for students, and you don't realise until you don't have it how much you actually used it, especially for food. Oh my gosh, restaurants, going out for dinner and just having student discount like 25% off the bill is so good. Show your student card at McDonald's, you get a free cheeseburger. Those were the days. My last point is probably my most important point, I think, of things I wish I knew that before I went to university, and that is to talk to your tutors. Talk with them, make friends with them, be on their side, just get to know them. I can't tell you the amount of times Kira and I used to just sit after lectures and speak with our lecturers just about life, like about anything. They'll find out stuff about you, probably more than you want them to know, and vice versa with them. It's just really nice to get to know them because, again, with connections, you never know who they might know that could help you. Even with your work, like, it helped so much. I knew that I could just go and walk into the office if I had a problem, and I could go and speak to someone and they'd help me with my work. And I'd do so much better on units with lecturers that I liked and I got on with, just because I enjoyed their lessons, I enjoyed them as a person, I could go to them for help, and it was just so much easier. Obviously there was lecturers that I didn't get on with. You're never going to get on with everyone, and that's absolutely fine. It made me laugh so much when I used to see people on Facebook complaining about their grades, or this lecturer they didn't like gave them a bad grade. And honestly, I hadn't seen those people turn up to lectures all semester. Wonder why that lecturer didn't give them a good grade. Just put 2 and 2 together. If you're not going to bother turning up to your lectures with that lecturer, that is going to piss them off so much, and they will remember your name for not turning up to their lesson. So when it comes to marking your work, do you think they care what you get, and do you think they care giving you a bad mark? Because they know you haven't made the effort with them. It honestly just is not difficult, as well as being able to ask for advice and for help. They're going to help you so much. They're there to help you. They're there for their knowledge. So use it, and they can only give you advice on what's going to get you a better grade, so that will get you a better grade in turn. I loved it. I miss most of my lecturers more than I miss people at uni, because they're just very interesting people. They've had careers, they've been in the industry, or they're doing that and they're teaching, and it's nice to get to know them. So just take the time to get to know your lecturers and get on their good side, because it will only help you, your grades, and your whole uni experience. So that is my few points about what I think I wish I knew before I went to university. Obviously I could talk on forever about this topic. There's so many things that I wish I knew before I went, but these 7 I think are stuff that if I knew before uni would, you know, could help mould my experience and everything as a whole, instead of just the first year or freshers or whatever, or your dissertation. It can help people as a whole, starting from the beginning to the end. I hope it helped you in some way, and if you have any questions, as always, just message me, DM me, or leave some comments down below. I'll try and get back to everyone. Obviously some I miss because they go into a different inbox and stuff like that, but I will try and get back to everyone. And yeah, happy to be sat down with my cup of tea, filming a sit-down video. It's quite nice actually. And I just want to apologise about, one, the glare on my lenses. You can see like the green. Probably haven't been able to see my eyes for much of this video, but I just wanted to wear them because they're my glasses and I was reading my phone and stuff. And also the audio, I've ordered a mic to go on top of my camera so that my audio will be better, but because I've got my 50mm lens, I'm sat super far away, so if the audio is a bit rubbish, that's why. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next Sunday for another one.